Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for that. That was very helpful. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mrs. Becker. Mrs. Chu.
Here.
Mr. Hahn.
Here.
Mrs. Lax.
Here.
Mrs. Reese.
Here.
Mr. Seeler.
Here.
Mrs. Shaw.
Here.
President Simmons.
Here, we have a quorum. Please rise to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the East Brunswick Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted at the board offices located at 760 Route 18, East Brunswick, New Jersey. Written notice was also provided to the Sentinel, the New York Star Ledger, the Home News and Tribune, and the Municipal Clerk of East Brunswick. All Board of Education meetings, with the exception of executive session discussions, are videotaped for later broadcast. It is the policy of the Board of Education that videotape meetings are not edited for any purpose. Individuals who speak at the Board's public meetings should be aware of these videotaping rules. And good evening, everyone. Tonight is our Wall of Honor, and that's exactly why you're all here. I'm going to guess not to hear about our agenda items this evening. So I guess I'll turn it over to Dr. Valesky, who's going to kick it off for us. All right.
Wow, that was really nice, and I didn't even do anything. Good evening. Thank you for joining us to celebrate our 2018 Wall of Honor inductees. Tonight we have the distinct pleasure of honoring 3 outstanding individuals who have impacted our school in extraordinary ways. We will share the details of their district contributions with you later in our program. But first, Siri.
Yes?
What's the definition of a wall of honor?
Wall of Honor means a wall on which are inscribed the names of individuals whose acts or achievements are deemed praiseworthy.
Thank you. The Wall of Honor you see here was constructed for the purpose of honoring individuals who have made significant and extraordinary contributions to East Brunswick Public Schools. A recognition committee composed of members of the Board of Education and East Brunswick Education Association and the East Brunswick Principals and Supervisors Association was established to develop the guidelines and criteria for the selection of the honorees. Eligibility for this honor begins 1 1/2 years following the June 30th of the retirement year and ends 3 1/2 years later. A Register of Honor is located to, I feel like I'm an airline, is located to the right of the Wall of the Honor, or Wall of Honor, which details the service history of the individuals chosen for this honor. It allows us to share the wonderful memories and contributions of the individuals. At this time, I'd like to reintroduce Mr. Todd Simmons, President of the East Brunswick Board of Education.
Well, thank you, Dr. Valesky, and thank you for showing me how to get Siri to do part of my speeches now. Save me a little bit of prep time. I appreciate that. Well, we know this year is coming to an end because it is now time to kick off the best part of what we do, which is honor those that have made our district shine. Every April, the board has the privilege of recognizing its finest by naming them to our Wall of Honor, which Dr. Valesky has shown you in his airline steward way. Selection of honorees generally is not easy. It is a process that starts early in the school year. Selection of this year's honorees, however, was easy. Tonight we honor one of our most dedicated custodians, a superstar to our Lawrenceburg community for over 34 years. And 2 of our educators are by his side in language arts and physical education, both having spent most of their careers here in East Brunswick. When I was in elementary school a few years back, Mr. Bateman was the one grown-up I remember who just took care of us by taking care of our building. Mr. Rakowski, you had that impact. Our Lawrenceburg community will always be grateful for the environment you fostered during your many years there. Mr. Henning, phys ed wasn't my class, but I did what I had to graduate. Maybe if you were my teacher, I'd have been a better phys ed student. What we do share is a passion for healthy living and keeping our kids moving. Your time as a coach, the kind that champions sportsmanship, is exactly what we want to continue to model. Thank you for bringing your work teachable moments to our students of physical education and team sports. Ms. Heilmann, we are fortunate to have world-class teachers here. Some stay for short times, some for their careers. We are lucky that you spent much time here between Central and Hammersholt. Launching programs is never easy, but you managed to do it not once but multiple times, and you've left your legacy in our schools. The Wall of Honor ceremony is a highlight of the school year. The downside, however, is that your being named to the Wall of Honor means that you have retired. Our district is the award-winning place to learn and work because of each of you. East Brunswick is grateful to you for your dedication and commitment to our school community. On behalf of my colleagues in the Board of Education, congratulations to our new and now legendary inductees, and thank you for everything you have done to make our district, our community, what it is today. Thank you very much, and I'll now introduce the president of the East Brunswick Education Association, Dr. Dana Zimbicki.
Good evening, everyone. The Wall of Honor is the highest distinction in the East Brunswick Public Schools. This triad that we're going to honor tonight has made significant and extraordinary contributions to our school and community, and it's a privilege to be honoring the three of you tonight. When I reflect upon this diverse triad of honorees, one quote comes to mind: being selfless and doing things with integrity, extraordinary things happen. Clearly that has. With a combined total of 77 years of service to the East Brunswick Public Schools, Matt, Bo, and Diane, you have made extraordinary things happen. Matt, your colleagues and parents of Lawrencebrook consider you to be the mayor of Lawrencebrook. You cared for the buildings and grounds and people like it was your own home. You ensured every detail was perfection, and everyone in Lawrencebrook community knew they could count on you. Matt literally ran the little city of Lawrencebrook, and your kindness, dedication, and work ethic has had profound influence on your little city. Thank you, Matt. Bo, your influence has spanned many directions. First, you have been an exceptional physical educator in the district and have mentored so many young men and women. Former students have said, best phys ed teacher in the school, hands down. He is simply a good man, and you can count on him when you have a problem. You've been a role model for our East Brunswick youth. Equally important, you've been a role model for student athletes across the state and a wise sage for your coaching colleagues in the county and in the state. Your colleagues have said you are a consummate coach and an ideal role model for a coach of any sport. Thank you very much, Bo. Diane, an educator, advisor, philanthropist, and mentor. Your passion has always been about doing for others. Your students have said, Miss Heilmann is such a great lady. She made English fun, and I'm so great at something I've never really liked. Our students were lucky to have you as their teacher. You had a huge impact on the staff of Hammersholt Middle School. Your passion, once again, was focusing on how to bring everybody together. You did it with your wild and crazy games during faculty meetings, your creation of the first day parking lot picnic, and just by always being open to your colleagues. Your passion extended to giving back to the community and teaching the students and colleagues the importance of others before self. Under your leadership, Hammersholt raised over $70,000 for the Relay for Life, and the entire student body and faculty participated in some manner, along with community members. Today, for the first time ever, the East Brunswick High School also participated in a school-wide Relay for Life, modeling your past successes. And last, your passion to mentor others and make a difference is evident through the work that you have done as the EBA Teacher Evaluation Advisory Chair. You took teachers under your wing to walk them through the transition to the Danielson evaluation model. Your focus was not on the model, but rather how educators could use this to grow professionally. You even brought this to the Rutgers Education graduate students. Your influence has been profound. Thank you, Diane. On behalf of the 1,500 members of the East Brunswick Education Association, I would like to wish this amazing triad a warm congratulations for being selfless, for having integrity, and making extraordinary things happen in our community. Thank you.
And now, I would like to introduce Mr. Andy Scanlon, who is the president of East Brunswick Principals and Supervisors Association. That's a short title that he has.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here tonight. And, the more I look at that, and, I've had a few meetings in here, it sort of, for some reason, looks like the Q*bert game. But I always fell off the side. I didn't understand that game. But anyway, it really is an honor to be here and to thank these extraordinary people who have done such a great job in East Brunswick. Diane Heilmann, Matthew Rakowski, and somebody named Robert Henning, which would have been a little funnier if my speech was a couple ago. But these are the honorees that don't have the word "should" in their vernacular. And what I mean by that is I've been around a lot of people where they say, somebody should do this or somebody should do that. And what are they really saying? They're really saying somebody else should be doing that, right? These are the people who just do it, which also sounds vaguely familiar. And we thank you for that. It's because of all these extraordinary contributions that these three people have made to the East Brunswick learning community that we are honoring them tonight. And it is a rigorous process. And really, it should be, it's a great honor to be here and a great honor to thank those people. As for when it goes to role models, these same three people are the role models in our schools. It's a fast-changing time, and there's lots of role models out there. Not all of them are great role models, but, you can look no further than these three people here, that they are role models for the entire community. So on behalf of all the principals, assistant principals, supervisors, and department chairs, we thank you for your service and congratulations.
Thanks, Andy. So I want to make a statement. If I repeat any of the accolades you've already heard, I know we're East Brunswick. I didn't plagiarize, okay? Our first Wall of Honor inductee this evening is Diane Heilmann, who began her career at Central Elementary School in March of 2000. In September 2005, she transferred to the Language Arts Department at Hammersholt Middle School, where she was described as visionary, passionate, and transformative. As a classroom teacher, Diane transformed learning by spending countless hours planning innovative lessons which would transform a reluctant student to highly engaged. Students felt Diane's commitment to them. They knew she wanted the best for them as she pushed them to achieve their dreams. Under Diane's care, students transformed into proud published authors, firmly believing in their roles as readers and writers. In Diane's words, "The joy I saw in my students when they gained new insights or learned something about themselves is unforgettable." At every opportunity, Diane immersed herself in the East Brunswick school community. She was the advisor of the Interact Club, working with students to promote goodwill, focused on the importance of social learning. Her students took great pride in making gifts for elderly at the nearby assisted living facility. Diane also invented, as you already heard, some unique events, the Snowball Dance at Hammersholt, a great opportunity for students. Always the visionary, Diane brought the staff together by creating the opening day staff picnic, which incorporated activities to encourage bonding experience among the staff from different departments. Diane also developed a vision to bring students and staff together to raise awareness for those fighting cancer, which you already heard about. The result of the annual Hammersholt Relay for Life, which to date and we'll have to clarify the numbers, I have $200,000. We'll go with my number. Diane's deep belief in helping others as a true teacher leader helped transform educators into exceptional, highly effective teachers. She helped co-author, as you've already heard, the EBEA Danielson Evaluation and Resource Binder, designed to support teachers on what was then a new evaluation system. Diane was also a co-presenter for 6 workshops where EBEA presented information, not only to colleagues in East Brunswick, but as a guest presenter at Rutgers Graduate School of Education. In her years at Hammarskjöld, she was a notable mentor and confidant for countless staff members. Among Diane's favorite moments were the first day of school, going to Fairview Camp for outdoor education, my favorite too, but I got a really good cold going there, and outdoor education with students and colleagues, advising student council, and of course, her beloved Relay for Life. In her words, teaching in East Brunswick had an unbelievable influence on me as a person. I have become a better teacher and person because of all my experiences with my students and colleagues. Words cannot describe my gratitude. I am the person I am today because East Brunswick has given me this opportunity. I am truly humbled that my colleagues and administration would feel I was worthy of this honor. Diane has lived in East Brunswick for 29 years, and her 2 sons are the products of East Brunswick schools. Son Jeff graduated from Rutgers University and now works for Apple. And Travis is the assistant director of the Summer Bridges program for the Princeton Blair House Center, which is an experiential education program for urban youth. Also celebrating with her is her husband Donald, a professor at Rutgers University and Rider University, and director of student legal services at Rutgers University. You're a busy man. He is her rock and strongest supporter. Congratulations, Diane Heilmann.
Dana, you told me I didn't have to talk. Well, Frank, I guess I'm truly a bear now. I am so very honored to be here this evening that my husband and I got home from a trip, and there was a letter in the mail. And I opened the letter, and I said to him, I think there's a mistake. I looked at the address. I said, I'm getting honored. Immediately, I called my friend Colleen Talbot, who knows all of East Brunswick, and she said, oh yeah, you are getting honored, Diane. My time teaching in East Brunswick has been phenomenal. They have given me such unbelievable experiences, from being PTA president at Warnstoffer, which I have some people that came today that their children just went to school with mine. It's unbelievable. I can't thank everyone enough for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so very much.
So if I start sniffling, it's not from the emotion.
I'll sniffle for you.
In 1988, this next Wall of Honor inductee started bleeding green when he joined the staff at East Brunswick High School as a physical education teacher and coach. Robert Henning, known to the East Brunswick community as Bo, spent 27 years positively impacting students and staff alike. Bo knew at a very young age he wanted to teach and coach, and if given a second chance to choose a career, his decision would remain the same. Bo's expectations for his students and student athletes were the same: put forth their best effort in everything they do, and to carry themselves as ladies and gentlemen. Any student Bo had the pleasure to teach or coach received 100% support, dedication, and compassion from him. In the classroom, students took his lessons seriously. He emphasized healthy living and the importance of recreational sports. Bo was just as passionate about teaching a game of softball as he was about coaching a state playoff game. Bo had the unique ability to get the most out of his players, and under his supervision, their successes were endless. Bo was a staple of the EB Bears program in all aspects. He served many years as the head golf coach, head boys basketball coach, and weight and conditioning coach. Most notable was Bo's 25 years as head boys basketball coach, winning close to 400 games, including many state and conference championships along the way. In golf, Bo led his team to more championships than any other coach in New Jersey. Bo's charisma helped the entire PE department work to their potential and keep the students' best interest at heart. His work ethic was second to none. EB players were always the most prepared both on and off the court due to his endless energy and focus. Bo prepared them to win and sometimes lose with grace and composure, the ultimate level of sportsmanship. His attention to detail as the father of the department shaped the style and approach to coaching for the entire coaching staff. In the words of a novice teacher, he would offer words of encouragement and sound advice. Bo shared his talents outside the world of athletics as well. He also voluntarily served on middle stakes committees, student activities committee, and instructional council. Bo exemplified excellence in academics and athletics with honesty and integrity. Throughout his career, he encountered scores of parents, students, and community members who all walked away with the same impression: how much Bo cared about the East Brunswick community. A great measure of Bo's impact was the large number of former students and athletes who still reach out to him years beyond their graduation. Bo shared that anytime he reflects on his career in East Brunswick, he realizes he was one of those lucky individuals who rarely felt like he was going to a job. Career memories include Friday morning staff basketball, classy graduation ceremonies, especially in 1997 as the faculty speaker, and strong relationships he forged. His favorite memory revolves around a 6-year period when his 2 sons were enrolled at EBHS. Daughter Lauren, however, garnered so much attention from the EB gentlemen on Take Your Child to Work Day that Bo left her at Brick Memorial School. Smart dad. Having dedicated so much of his time to East Brunswick, Bo credits wife Pam with a tremendous job of raising their 3 children. And retirement life has taken on a whole new perspective for Bo. His immediate family has blossomed with the birth of grandchildren. Grace and Henning to son Jason and his wife Susanna, and less than 2 months ago, second grandson, Bo Patrick Henning, was born to Bob and his wife Heidi. Clearly a start of a new basketball team. Congratulations, Bo Henning.
Tough act to follow, Diane. I'm not sure how exactly we arrived here in this situation. If there was a picture, maybe on the nominations, maybe some of you thought I was Frank Knoppenberger and voted for him. I don't know. But honestly, I just tried to always care about everything I did. Maybe more importantly, I care about how I did it as well. And that got me here, so thank you very much.
I just wanted to point out, here's how you tell the difference between Bo and Frank Knoppenberger. Frank is always casually dressed. But he also looks about a year younger every time I see him, so. School districts often have unsung heroes who quietly and diligently perform their work duties with pride. Our last Wall of Honor inductee, Matthew Rakowski, fits that bill perfectly. Matt spent 34 dedicated years behind the scenes at Lawrence Brook School, ensuring his students' learning environment was optimal. Mr. Matt, as he was called, served as head custodian from 1981 through June 2015, when he retired. A constant source of stability and strength for the school, his moral fiber and old school work practices are what help make Lawrence Brook a model for teaching and learning. No one can deny that Mr. Matt took his position at Lawrence Brook very seriously. In his words, when at work, the student, staff, and faculty were my total focus. Matt fondly recalls working with good people, working in harmony. Being surrounded by children and gladly accepting responsibility for their care was a source of pride for him. Matt was best described by one of his principals as self-motivated, very hardworking, and diligent. He patrolled the entire school inside and out every day to ensure it was clean and safe for our students. Matt had an incredible internal clock that ensured he was always on time, despite his early morning start. In the days before school security existed, Matt was our watchman, our patrolman, our safety chief. The best thing about Matt, his colleagues report, is he was always a step ahead of the school, always knowing exactly what needed to happen and when. Matt never needed a task list because he kept his own calendar and completed all tasks accordingly. The initiative he showed on a daily basis is unmatched to this day. Mr. Matt was a school celebrity because of his kindness, helpful nature, and respectful behavior when interacting with our students. They all loved Mr. Matt and saw him as their personal school helper. Matt worked well with the teachers, understanding their individual needs. Whether it was supplies, hanging charts, or moving books, Matt was always ready to assist. He never let his colleagues down when they needed him. The PTA was always grateful to Mr. Matt for his special attention to their events. During cold winters, he was always out there shoveling to ensure the school was ready to open. And during construction, when Lawrence Brook was undergoing construction and getting a facelift, Mr. Matt was the sanity that Lawrence Brook counted on. During that challenge, he helped teachers move from classroom to classroom as parts of the school were renovated. Even when it was merely days from school opening, and it still felt like the school would never be ready, Matt kept everyone in check. He never complained about the additional workload during that period and just kept working. On a personal note, Matt is an avid runner, and it's amazing to his staff that he could still maintain this hobby while putting in full days of strenuous work. The district's favorite Mr. Matt story surrounds the time Lawrence Brook construction was completed. The school surprised Matt by celebrating Mr. Matt Day. Mr. Matt's message to our students was, "My wish for you is you have a day as special as you made this day for me." When asked how he felt about being chosen for the Wall of Honor, his words were, "It's a great honor to be chosen. I love the staff from top to bottom, and the children are the best in the world." Congratulations, Matt Rakowski.
Well, I do thank you all for being here, and I appreciate the kind words that were said. And as the people that work for the East Brunswick Public Schools will find out someday, the time does kind of fly by, and when you think of it in retrospect, it was kind of fun, you know, really. And you learn a lot, and I think I still have some life to live, and the lessons learned here will be helpful
again and again. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Before you disembark to the terminal, I want to make sure that all the honorees come up. They want to get a group photograph of all of you.
But before that, I'm going to call a 10-minute recess, but come on up then. Thanks.